Das nächste, was ich wieder weiß, ist, ja, dass ich wohl unter der Decke.
De repente, eu estava pairando no teto do quarto. Eu podia me ver deitada numa mesa de cirurgia. Via os cirurgiões e ouvia os dois conversando entre si. A conversa era muito agitada. Percebi que era sobre vida ou morte.
Para ajudar a entender as experiências de quase morte, alguns pesquisadores focam o conteúdo destes episódios.
Um elemento comum que acontece no início de experiências de quase morte é chamado de experiência fora do corpo. Naquele momento, a pessoa parece poder ver e ouvir coisas acontecendo, mas de um ponto de observação acima de seu corpo. Geralmente, o que eles descrevem são os médicos tentando freneticamente trazê-los de volta à vida.
Christine se recuperou e alega ter uma revelação.
Eu sei o que vivenciei e tenho certeza absoluta de que não sonhei. Aquilo não foi um sonho. Minha experiência quase morte realmente aconteceu.
É difícil de acreditar que alguém possa flutuar 2 metros acima da mesa de cirurgia e ouvir tudo que conversamos. É difícil aceitar isso. Embora eu ache que Christine é uma pessoa digna de confiança e totalmente genuína. Na verdade, eu fiquei assustado quando ela falou sobre isso. Eu posso só falar sobre experiências quase morte do meu ponto de vista pessoal, porque como médico eu as rejeito. Não existe nenhuma prova concreta. Parece coisa sem sentido, tolices, anjos cantando, luzes e túneis brilhantes, e tudo é maravilhoso. Não pode ser, deve ser algum tipo de delírio.
O céu existe, embora a ciência não possa provar isso. Não está só na minha cabeça, é uma realidade.
In 1970, 44 years ago, when I was a young man, I had a near-death experience. I was killed in a motorcycle wreck in Eugene, Oregon, and I happened to have this wreck in front of an ambulance location, and they just came around, picked me up, and took me to the hospital. They put me in the ICU, the intensive care unit, and about 3 hours later, I went into a coma. I had rather extensive, there's scars here on my wrist and stuff. Leg injuries, I have steel in my femur here. I have lost the kneecap on my right leg. I had part of my wrist was up here by my elbow, pushed up under the skin. I was pretty well destroyed. So 3 hours later, I went into a coma and I went out of body. The being of light is definitely a being, but not with a face, a figure, anything else. It's more of an energy center. It's a white light that's described as having gold around the edges, if you wish. It's the brightest, prettiest, most loving light I've ever seen. I've never been so in love or at home or with my family or with, it's where I'm from. And I felt that this being and I had known each other for, I use the term thousands of years or eons. We'd always known each other. There was no beginning, no end to how long we've known each other. If you think of each of our consciousnesses as one little grain of sand and infinite intelligence as the whole beach of sand, I was plugged back in, my little grain of sand was back on the beach, where I belonged, where I came from. I was a young man in my early 20s, and I decided to come back here. I wasn't done with the reason I had been here. I clearly remember squeezing down, getting smaller, and coming into my body. It was like slamming back into the pain of this existence. So I come back, at that time, a college student studying mechanical engineering and physics. I come back into this life and I go on with that career, but they're teaching me Newtonian physics. They're teaching me that this is 3D is it. And I'm always, from the beginning, from then on, I'm on the other side. No, there's all the rest of this energy. There's all the rest of this out here. First off, when I had the near-death experience in 1970, I started talking about it. And I was on the head injury floor, and so the chief psychiatrist wanted to put me in the nut house because this isn't true. What, do you think you're Jesus? You died and you came back? What is that? You know, you're crazy. So he wants to throw me in the nut house. And the nurses, they know, they've heard, they've seen it too many times. And they're hugging me and say, shh, don't. Yeah, but it's true. I got to tell him. So he's saying to me, so you think you're Jesus? And I say, look, I went there, I did it. You got a degree, you're a doctor and all that, but you've never been there. And you're telling me it doesn't exist because you have a degree? I believe they may have given my body painkillers, but I was out of the body. So people say, well, it's a drug effect in your mind. No, I'm out of the body. I remember coming back into the room and coming back into the body and seeing myself and coming into it. I finally get out of the hospital. I go to the pastor at my church, and he says, well, it can't possibly be true because it doesn't agree with Scripture. And I said, wait a minute. It doesn't agree with your interpretation of the Scripture. It's true, I went there. Those people who want to say, well, it was a drug, or well, it was something else, they're looking for it to be something else because they don't want to hear what we're saying. It was more real than this reality. We all remember that experience better than anything else in our life. It is embedded in us. It is burned into our mind because it was more real. So for people, how to believe it, they always want me to give them that one. How to believe it. Walk a mile in my shoes? Go have your own near-death experience? Here, let me get a gun. We'll shoot you, see if you die. You know, I mean, we can't do that. So they want to know, like I do. I was lucky to be killed. Think about what I'm saying. I was lucky to be killed and then to come back so that I could say all of this and know all of this.